I have tried to make this video a dozen times in the past, but it never came out right. Not only was I worse at editing, but explaining everything that goes into this theory is not easy. Regardless, this is a theory worth sharing. I believe it is the most realistic answer to how long a moon in My Little Pony Friendship is Magic really is. Before we get started, I want to mention that I first formed this theory back in 2017 after The Perfect Pair aired, but technically we could have had this answer back in June of 2013. Also, I checked to see if anyone had come up with this theory back in 2017, but I haven't checked since, at least not as thoroughly. I would have checked again, but I don't have Wi-Fi as of writing this, so let's just hope I'm the first to publish this theory. Okay, let's get right into it. I'm first going to address the famous scene from Applebloom Season 1, Episode 4.
What about all those relatives I met when I first came to Ponyville? Can't they help?
Yeah, they were just here for the Apple family reunion. They actually live all over Equestria.
When making a theory about how long a moon is, literally everybody starts here. They start here because in Season 3, Episode 8, Apple Family Reunion, the most important episode to this theory, Granny Smith says that they've been hosting the Apple Family Reunion every 100 moons since they first moved to Ponyville.
We've been hosting these things at Sweet Apple Acres every 100 moons since we first planted roots here in Ponyville.
If you've ever wondered how long a moon is, I'm sure you're very familiar with these clips. Anyway, what most people have been doing at this point is trying to figure out the distance between the first episode and Season 3, Episode 8. The problem with this approach is that you'll never get a solid answer. There just isn't enough information. That's where my theory comes in. And also stops. You see, my theory I'm about to present has one hole. That line from Applebloom season is the only thing that doesn't fit into my theory. But listen, I've looked over everything, and I mean everything. If we were to include that line, try to make it fit, well, we can't. It's simply not possible. Everything else, every line, every bit of animation and context fits with my theory, except that line! In order for this theory to work, we have to accept the fact that the first episode does not feature an Apple Family Reunion. And I know it seems odd to completely throw away a line from canon, but it was the fourth episode, so I figure it's, reasonable. Alright, are you still with me? Let's get this started. The theory is actually really simple, and it can be solved with a look at only two scenes from the first Equestria Girls movie. Yes, those movies are canon. First, before Twilight enters the portal, Luna says this line:
This is no ordinary mirror. It is a gateway to another world. A gateway that opens once every 30 moons.
Sparkly!
The portal only opens once every 30 moons. This means that Sunset was trapped in the portal for at least 30 moons. Could have been more, could not have been less. Anyway, the next scene is when Twilight first learns about the Fall Formal.
Here at Canterlot High, the students select one of their peers to represent them. She receives her crown at the Fall Formal.
Did you catch that? Probably not. Those pictures on the wall are a funny visual gag, but they are also the key to learning how long a moon is. Can you guess yet? You see, Principal Seth Celestia says that the student elected Princess of the Fall Formal receives a crown at the Fall Formal. On the pictures we see, Sunset has won the crown 3 times. Well, in order to do that, she would need to win Princess of the Fall Formal 3 times. I know, this is obvious. Well, the Fall Formal only takes place once in the fall. Fall occurs once a year, 3 Fall Formals, 3 years. Now, how many moons was she trapped in there for?
30 moons.
30 moons? Well, there's your answer. 10 moons is 1 year. 1 moon is 36.5 days. That's it. That's my theory. I shall now take every possible step to prove that this number fits. Oh, and moons in real life are 29.5 days, so don't assume that 0.5 invalidates anything. Okay, let's go back to Apple Family Reunion, as this episode is the most important for this theory's proof. First off, elephant in the room, 100 moons would equal 10 years. Sounds crazy, right? No, it's not. In fact, it makes a lot more sense than you might think. This is where things get complicated, so bear with me, and I'll try to take it one step at a time. First, let's look at those pictures Granny Smith showed us from the past reunions. One with her and her parents, which is hardly a reunion, but I digress. It could also be discarded from canon as it's only an image and Family Appreciation Day contradicts it. The next with a few other relatives that we'll discuss later. And then the last one that includes Old Granny, Applejack, Big Mac, and Applebloom, among others. Okay, what? Okay, obviously a few pictures were skipped, but how many exactly? We could try to measure it up with our 100 moons equals 10 years number and like their ages, but we don't actually have to. Again, we are given a wonderfully helpful line of dialogue.
A lady never reveals the age of her teeth. Ugh. Don't you roll your eyes at me, Miss Apple Rose. I imagine you two think I have forgotten what you did to my parasol 6 reunions ago.
Did to my parasol 6 reunions ago. Go ahead and hit your "that was easy" buttons because we have our answer. I have this handy dandy screenshot to help visualize this stuff. In the bottom right, we have the picture taken in Season 3. Above that is the third picture shown in the book. It's implied this was the previous reunion. Above that, I have a picture of baby Applejack. In a flashback, we see baby Applejack. This is her first reunion. Then we have 3 empty slots. Reunions we know happened because of that 6 parasol line. Then the second picture that was shown above them, then the first above that. Now let's go back to that line. Let's count. 1 reunion ago, 2 reunions ago, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that would land us right on the first picture that she appeared in. Technically, there could be more missing pictures, but assuming she is around 14 to 15 years old in this picture, that would make her 75 years old in Season 3. But wait, why are we assuming she's 15 years old in the first photo? Well, I have an answer for that too. You may have noticed that Applebloom looks the same in both pictures she's in. You are correct. She does not change as much as Applejack did. If Applebloom was 5 in her first reunion, she would be 15 in Season 3. If Applejack was 2 to 3 at the oldest in her first reunion, she would be around 12 to 13 by her next, and then 22 to 23 during Season 3, which is the theorized age among most of the main 6. However, Applejack looks much bigger than Applebloom looks at around that same 13 to 15 age range. Why? Well, same reason Ash Ketchum is still 10 years old even after like 30 years. In the universe reason being she grows differently. I mean, what else can I say? Actually, I can say more, because remember when I said Auntie Apple Rose was about 14 to 15 years old in her first reunion? Well, Applebloom is the same age as her from that picture. Granny Smith says so.
Hey, who's that? That'd be your great-great Auntie Applesauce when she's just about your age.
It is literally confirmed that Applebloom is smaller than she should look.
Is this you? Are you happily engrossed in inconsequential cartoon trivia to the point that your socks can probably stand up by themselves? Well, if you are, there's hope, there's help, there's the Please, Please, Please Get a Life Foundation.
Okay, I'm stopping it here. You don't want to know how much longer I rambled on for. I'd appreciate it if you shared this video and got people talking about it. In 5 years, when somebody asked how long a moon in My Little Pony was, I want the answer to be, oh, you didn't hear? Well, it's probably 36.5 days, or, 10 moons equals a year. At least from Season 3 onward. Anyway, blah blah blah, subscribe, like button, comment, this YouTube shit, Okay, upstairs for 10, I can't wait to hear from you, goodbye!
Negative azimuth on the 14th moon.
Moon?